Good morning. Today we're doing lesson 6-7.
More partial quotients division. 1. Estimate. Write a number model to represent the problem. Then use partial quotients to solve. There are 184 plants to put into pots. Each pot can hold 8 plants. How many pots are needed? Estimate. Blank pots. Number model with unknown. Answer. Blank pots. How many plants are left over? Blank plants.
All right. So, I'm going to round 184 to 200. Okay. And then I'm going to round my 8 to a 10 because I know that's pretty close. And I know that that equals 20. Okay. Now I'm going to do my real number model. So I'm going to take my real numbers, my 184, and I'm going to divide it by 8, and that's going to equal, let's do P for pots. Okay. So now we're going to continue on doing our partial quotients division. Okay. So I'm going to set it up, my problem. So I'm going to take 8. I'm going to divide it by 184. And then I'm going to draw a line down to here like this. Now I'm going to think, what can I multiply by to get close to 184 without going over? Using factors that I know. So, my first number I'm going to choose is 20. Because I know 8 times 2 is 16, and then if I just add the 0, I get 160. And that gets me pretty close to 184. So I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 6 is 2. Whoops, I gave you the answer. Okay, now I'm thinking, how many times can 8 go into 24? And luckily I'm thinking, hey, that's a fact that I know. 8 times 3 equals 24. So, put that there. And now I get to my 0, and I know that I'm done. So now I add 20 plus 3 to get 23. Okay? And so my answer is going to be 23 pots. And then how many pots do I have left over? 0. All right, here's my next one.
More partial quotients division. 2. Estimate. Write a number model to represent the problem. Then use partial quotients to solve. Carpenters are installing hinges. They have 371 screws. Each hinge needs 3 screws. How many hinges can they install? Estimate. Blank hinges. Number model with unknown. Answer. Blank hinges. How many screws are left over? Blank screws.
All right, so now I need to do an estimate. So something that I can do easily in my head. So I'm going to round 371 down to 360. And I'm still just going to divide it by 3. Because I know that 3 can go into 36 12 times. And then I can just add my 0 to the end. Now, I need to write my actual number model with my unknown, okay? So I'm going to take 371, and I'm going to divide it by 3 to equal H for hinges, okay? Now I need to set up my problem. So I'm going to put 3 over here. And I'm going to put 371 on the inside. I'm going to draw my little down all the way down to the side. What can I multiply times 3 to get close to 371? So my first thought is I can multiply 3 times 100 to get really close. And so that equals 300. Okay. I subtract these. 1, 7. So now I get 71. Now, what can I multiply 3 times to get really close to 71? Well, I'm going to use 20 next, because I know that 3 times 2 equals 6, and then if I add my 0, that equals 60. My goal is to get as close to the number as I can without going over. And if you want to break it up into smaller numbers too, that's okay. It'll just take you a few extra steps. So I subtract these, I get 11. How many times can 3 go into 11 without going over? Yeah, it can go 3 times. And 3 times 3 equals 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. And 3 can't go into 2, so that's how I know that I'm finished. But now, I need to add 100 plus 20 plus 3. So I know that that equals 123. So my answer is going to be 123 hinges, but I have 2 left over. 2 left over, okay? Okay. All right, so what they want us to do on this one is draw a rectangle and divide it into parts to represent our answer to problem 2. So our problem was 371 divided by 3. Okay. Now let's draw a rectangle like this, like we did before. We've done this before. 371 divided by 3. Let's put H. So now I just got to break this up. Okay. So I decided that we could do 100 times 3. And that equaled 300. And then we did 20 times 3. And that equaled 60. And then we did 3 times 3. And that equaled 9. So that's what we did there. And so then we took 371, and remember first we had to minus 100 because I used 300 because I multiplied those together. Now I take 1 minus 0, and that equals 1. I take 7 minus 0, and that equals 7. And I take 3 minus 3, and that equals 0. Okay? Now I did 3 times 20 equals 60, so then I subtracted 60. I got 11. And then I did 3 times 3 equals 9, so then I subtracted 9. I got 2. So then I added these numbers all together, and I got 123 with a remainder of 2.